Gage.
What up?
Good evening. How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm good. I got the Friday the 13th hat going on. It's Friday the 13th. We're gonna get ready to get started.
You know, I saw that it was Friday the 13th a couple days ago, but today I actually didn't realize it was Friday the 13th until about 4 p.m.
Neither did I. I noticed it like this morning, and I was like, "Whoa, let me wear my hat."
Good. Very, very, very good. A pretty excited week for wrestling, and I can't wait to jump into it. But first, Gage, you know the drill. We gotta start the show with some music.
Do it.
You ready to
Music.
go? All right, let's do it.
Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, deep six! That could be it. Delivers this deep six.
Episode 89. We are 11 episodes away from 100 episodes. I am joined tonight by Christopher Roan. Chris, how you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing really, really good. I am excited for this next episode. We're almost to 100. Wayne, let's get right into this. Let's not keep the people waiting.
Listen, we got to keep the people waiting. We have to have the hook. We have to get the hook. No, we got to hook them in. No.
Reel it in.
Oh man, Chris, good to see you, man. Good
Yeah.
to see you. So we have a pretty big weekend here. We're gonna do an episode tonight. We're gonna do an episode tomorrow with Tommy. Episode 90. That'll be tomorrow. So those of you guys that are listening on the podcast, you're gonna get an episode tonight and an episode tomorrow. So yes, I'm very excited. We came off a pretty good wrestling week, and we got some even better wrestling coming up within the next couple of weeks as well as the AEW approaches Double or Nothing pay-per-view, that is. So cannot wait for that. Only 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. I never actually really watched an AEW pay-per-view.
Oh,
Never watched a live pay-per-view.
wow.
I don't know why. I sometimes I feel like I find myself busy, or I just find myself, but I always end up watching it afterwards. I always keep up on everything, but the card looks pretty decent so far, so maybe I'll tune in.
So check this out. In Vegas, this coming Tuesday, mind you, a week before we leave for Vegas, because we're doing Dynamite on the Wednesday, the 25th. Then we're doing Rampage the 27th, and the pay-per-view the 29th. And so anyway, this Tuesday, which is a week before all that starts, it's going to be 102 degrees outside.
It's pretty wild.
And I can't even fit into any of my clothes from last year.
It's pretty wild.
I got to go clothes shopping. I got to make sure I'm all geared up with spring clothes, summer clothes.
Yeah.
I got to go shopping because I got fat.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. Definitely happens to me. So
it's hot out. It's going to be very hot out. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to checking out the sights and sounds of Las Vegas. And I'm pretty sure that AEW is doing a fan fest that Saturday too, which I'm intrigued. 10 a.m. in the morning. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like getting up on my day off on my vacation, but we'll see. 10 a.m. I'm typically like tomorrow I'm off, for instance, so I'll probably be just sitting on my couch in my hoodie, in my sweats, just chilling. I don't really. I'm not in a rush to get out in the morning on my days off, so we'll see if I can get to it or not.
yeah.
So, anyway, we're gonna talk a little bit about Dynamite. maybe we'll touch on some stuff about AEW Double. Another thing is the show goes on. But we had a pretty banging opening match. Adam Cole versus Dax Hardwood for the Owen Hart Invitational. And let me tell you something. Dax Hardwood would be great for the singles division.
Yeah,
He's great for the tag team division.
he's great.
But I would like to see him on a more regular basis as a singles competitor
I
as
think they
well.
should take a little time in the singles division. Not necessarily, I think, like going for titles, but like having some good one-on-one matches that they've never really had that opportunity to showcase themselves as themselves. You know, it's pretty interesting seeing, tag teams, take some time, and like, there's always tag teams like one person gets injured, the other person has to, go by themselves. It's an interesting thing to see, but like nobody's hurt, they're not split up. They're just, riding their own waves, and I think it's pretty cool. They're doing
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Dax Hardwood's been tearing it up, and he's been owning this Owen Hart Invitational just with everything, moveset, match psychology, almost every detail down to his trunks.
Mhm.
He's totally into this Owen Hart Invitational.
Yeah.
He's loving it. He's absolutely loving it. Adam Cole versus Dax Hardwood. We see Adam Cole controlling the first few minutes of the match. Hardwood's favoring his ribs throughout the match, so we see that. So they're telling that story. We see a couple cool spots. Slingshot powerbomb off the top ropes. With Hardwood doing that to Adam Cole. And then we see Adam Cole win with the sharpshooter, which I thought was a really cool nod to the Hearts. So a lot of these wrestlers are not only putting out good matches, but they're doing these little nuanced tributes to Owen Hart and the Hart family. I don't know if you noticed, Owen Hart's wife was at the show.
Yeah.
With her kids.
Yeah.
And her daughter and her son, oh my, they both look like their dad, Owen.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's pretty crazy.
Unbelievable. I'm wondering if they're gonna the both of them are gonna try to. I mean, Owen Hart's daughter is in good shape.
Yeah.
And Owen Hart's son doesn't look too bad himself. I wonder if they're gonna try to break into the indie scene and maybe get into the business.
Hey, maybe they have to get into AEW. You never know.
They're in their early 20s at the oldest. At oldest, the son is probably 22 to 23 at most. The daughter's probably close to 20 if she's not 20 already, but they got to be in their early 20s already.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that's pretty cool. I think Owen Hart's wife name is Martha, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, she aged a little bit. Still looks great. I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her in 23 years. She looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Adam Page comes out for commentary. We see the transition. Obviously, they're setting up for Adam Page versus CM Punk for the AEW World title at AEW Double or Nothing in Las Vegas, which I'll be at. Cannot wait. I don't know. I read some comments that some people feel like this is rushed.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if this is necessarily a rushed storyline. I don't know. Maybe I kind of get that feeling a little bit, but we see Adam Page coming out for commentary. You know he's there scouting out the CM Punk match. I love CM Punk comes out with the Islanders jersey. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Totally
Yep.
trolling the Long Island fans because he's a Chicago Blackhawks fan.
I'm a Rangers fan. So
Yeah. So he's trolling like everybody. But everybody knows he's a diehard Chicago Blackhawks fan, and Chicago and New York have that market rivalry across all sports, not just hockey, but in baseball, basketball in the late 90s. what have you. And but yeah, so he's coming out, and he comes out with the Tavares jersey when he turns around, so it's Tavares. And everybody knows, Tavares like kind of turning his back on the Islanders and playing for the Maple Leafs. So Maple Leafs is like pretty much the closest rivalry to the Islanders aside from the Rangers right now. And so I thought that was pretty cool, though. And I guess this whole trolling thing started because of his feud with MJF several months ago, and MJF being from Long Island. So even though he's not in the program with MJF right now, he decides to troll the Long Island fans once again. So I thought that's pretty cool. Awesome match with Punk and John Silver. What did you think of that?
I thought it was good. I know John Silver from Long Island, so him being able to get that spot, to showcase himself in his hometown.
Did you ever work with John Silver?
No, but I want to. Yeah, I want to.
Or have you ever crossed paths?
No, I actually have never met him. I've had an opportunity to meet him. I used to work somewhere, and he ended up showing up for a party at the place I used to work at before I worked there. And everybody was like, this guy's wrestler. I said, oh, I know him. I haven't met him, but I definitely know a bunch of people that were there at the show. I knew a lot of people that were there. So
you know a lot of the people that got beat up by Wardlow?
Yes, I do.
I knew it. I knew they were going to be a part of that segment.
Yes.
So yeah, Punk and John Silver had a back and forth match, which was really cool. It wasn't one-sided. John Silver got his offense in. The crowd was so hot for this match. The crowd was so hot all night. Love the Long Island crowd.
Long Island crowd, good crowd.
Let me tell you, this was probably the best crowd. This particular crowd for this event was probably the best crowd I've seen all year so far.
Yeah.
Long
Island, baby.
Yeah. So Punk, as we stated before, Punk went back to his heelish antics, trolling the Long Island crowd. CM Punk uses Adam Page's buckshot lariat because he knows that Adam Page is watching him. Uses Adam Page's buckshot lariat to put away John Silver, and then Page is pissed that Punk did that, and they confront each other in the ring. Things get heated up, and they did not touch each other, which is good. Save that for the pay-per-view. But anyhow, how do you feel about this feud? Are you you feel like invested into it?
No.
What do you think? You looking forward to this match? I know it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a banger.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match regardless. I don't think there's enough build-up. I think, like you said, there's a lot of people on the internet thinking that it was rushed. I think I can agree with that to a certain point. I have a confused opinion on how AEW does their ranking system.
Why is that?
Because, CM Punk is number 1 ranked, so he automatically gets a title opportunity. You know what I mean? It's like they're taking the number 1 ranked person and every other time just let Hangman beat him, and just let Hangman get these wins and not have enough build up just because they're kind of throwing a new person in every time. I mean, Punk is probably, I don't know, they'll probably have another match after this if they want to keep it going, but I don't expect them to.
I mean, listen, I think they're using the ranking system as a justification, just in case, if for some reason they don't have a build for the next feud. Like they could just turn around and be like, "Oh, he's number 1 ranked, and he is um the number 1 contender automatically because he's ranked." So it's, I mean, I guess maybe it's lazy booking, but it makes sense too. So it's, I don't know. I kind of like the ranking system, but I feel like they
Yeah,
use it when it's convenient.
but like it's CM Punk. You know what I mean? If it was somebody like who's somebody that's like, a bigger heel that like
Call,
is in like the ranking system, who's up there?
Cole,
Who?
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole? Yeah, but Hangman just beat him.
I know, but Adam Cole should really be in this program right now. To be honest with you,
Yeah. I mean, I always say this, there's like the roster's too big. You can't like I saw like when I watched it, like there was a lot of, hey, let's just throw a bunch of people into like either to come out before, come out in the middle of the match, or come out after the match to showcase more people, but they don't really need to be there.
mm-hmm.
Let the match, like, you can build, like, we'll probably get to it, like, but like the Ricky Starks Jungle Boy match had like a bunch of people come out afterwards, maybe setting up a match, but it's, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that I have problems with, but then again, I'm not Tony Khan, so
For sure. So we're gonna get CM Punk, Adam Page at the Double or Nothing. I have a feeling
Punk's gonna win.
Punk's gonna win.
I do too. Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, I think Punk's a bigger draw because it's CM Punk, but then again, like Hangman is kind of like the top baby face, but like I don't know. I feel,
But is he really a top babyface though?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me,
Yeah.
he's getting a bit boring. I don't enjoy his mic work. He just seems like he's
You feel like it's a little bland?
a little bland. His in-ring work is very predictable.
His
Nothing.
in-ring work is good though.
It's good,
He's had some
but
great matches.
yeah, absolutely. But I feel like most of the people he's worked with are better.
You think it's time for a heel turn?
No, I think.
I mean, he is already kind of acting like the heel in this feud.
Yeah, I don't like when babyface acts have heel little tactics. I don't like that. But I mean, like, they can't turn him heel just because probably when Kenny comes back, they're gonna do that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So they want to save that. Maybe after he's done with Kenny, they'll turn him heel. But
So
they,
you don't think that they'll do Page versus Kenny Omega for the title as a return match? Because if that happens, then you kind of have to keep the belt on Page for a while.
yeah, but then again, you're beating CM Punk. You're beating whoever else is lined up after, just to possibly drop it to Kenny again. It's kind of, Kenny is, he's a big name. He's big in AEW. He's one of like the founders of AEW. So why wouldn't he get the belt back? I'd rather see the belt on Punk than Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather see the belt still on Hangman than Kenny. But I would rather see belt on somebody else that's not Hangman, Punk, or Kenny. That's just,
It'll happen. I mean, Daniel Bryan's going to get his nod eventually. Maybe they.
not the way they're booking him right now.
Not now. A little later.
Same with Moxley. Moxley's probably never gonna have the title again.
Yeah. We'll have to
There's
see.
really
Hey,
no
listen, with the trios title coming
yeah,
very
that
soon.
if they end up doing that, that's the only thing that's gonna save Moxley and Bryan.
Yeah, for sure. Well, listen, we kind of have a little bit of a crowded main event scene, so not everybody can be in the main event contending for a title. This is a
Which,
lot of guys.
which is why their roster's too big. They should have a brand split. They should
Oh God, no, the
they
brand
should
split.
Dynamite, Rampage have only a couple wrestlers on Rampage, a couple
Well,
wrestlers.
you know what? I think a lot of these guys are going to go to a good number of these guys are going to go to ROH.
Yeah, that might be.
Help fill out that roster,
Yeah,
and then you'll have ROH and AEW going back and forth a lot.
Joe. They got the Jay Lethals. They got the Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah,
You know, got those people that are gonna be
yeah.
at the front.
Danhausen versus Tony Nese. Nese wins with the knee to Danhausen in a corner. That was such a quick match. After the match, Nese gives him another knee to the head. So Danhausen totally jobbed out there. For those of you guys that don't know, Tony Nese lives literally 5 minutes from me. I'm on the North Shore. He lives about 5 minutes south, right in the Ridge Middle Island area.
Have you ever ran into him?
I haven't.
No, I've never met him either. He wrestled my trainer.
Okay.
And I always made a joke. I remember back when he was in WWE. I think it was WrestleMania 35 when he won the Cruiserweight title off of Buddy Matthews now.
Yeah.
I was making a joke to my dad. We were watching, and I was like, well, if my trainer can beat Tony Nese, and I could beat my trainer, then I could beat Tony Nese. And he laughs. He's like, you wish.
Wow. So we see Hook come out to the save because Nese persisted on beating up Danhausen. We see Hook come out to the save. Nese bails out of the ring. And before Hook leaves the ring, Hook shakes Danhausen's hand after Danhausen extended his hand to Hook. They shake hands. The crowd went nuts. They went nuts for this. I'm not too sure how this is going to go over going forward. I guess I'm interested to see how it pans out. But yeah, we'll have to see.
If they're winning the tag titles, people are going to be pissed.
If
this is probably one of the biggest things they got going.
you think people will be pissed if Hook and Danhausen wins the tag titles?
No, people are going to be pissed if they don't.
Oh yeah. Hook is going to do a lot of the work. Yes. I'm sure.
Yes.
And but yeah, this is definitely strange bedfellows for sure. Probably the strangest bedfellows since I've seen when Daniel Bryan and Kane were together. But yeah, that should be interesting. Then we had the MJF Wardlow contract signing, and let me tell you, MJF had the Long Island fans eaten out of his hand in his hometown. Absolutely trolling the crowd. And we see the MJF Wardlow contract signing. So here are the stipulations. There are some stipulations to this match before Wardlow gets to get his opportunity at MJF. So Wardlow has to take a whipping 10 times. Then he has to wrestle Shawn Spears in a cage with MJF as a referee. So I wonder how that's going to work out. Then, if Wardlow wins both of those and gets past, then he gets his opportunity to fight MJF. At that point, if Wardlow loses, he can't sign a contract ever with AEW. So here, I'm interested in seeing how Wardlow will get past Shawn Spears with MJF as a referee. That's what I'm wondering.
Steel cage match is no disqualification.
Yes, but the referee, MJF, is he going to be the one to actually call the match and declare Wardlow the winner.
Now, is this a regular steel cage match where we can escape the cage to win?
That is a good question.
Because it's pretty simple.
That is a really good question. That's what I'm wondering about.
If you can escape the cage to win, then I see no problem with him clocking them both and getting out. You know?
Yeah. So, as this segment is going on, Wardlow can't sign a contract because he's handcuffed. Security then lets him out. So you kind of knew something was coming. Um, Wardlow then signs, and MJF continues to instigate. Wardlow calling him a coward, and then Wardlow takes on all the security guards, all your buddies.
I'm friends with 2, 3. It was like 4 guys I actually like shared locker rooms with, and there were a couple Cap guys that I've recognized and I've had encounters with.
Nice. So we see Wardlow knock down the security guards. Then he knocks down Spears. He gets a hold of MJF. But then we see Mark Sterling come from behind and put the chokehold on Wardlow. And then Wardlow ends up putting him through the table as MJF and Spears look on concerned as to what happened there. So honestly, Chris, I am a little more invested in this build because it's been a long storyline build, actually for a couple of years, but it's been a long build, much longer. In fact, probably 10 times longer than CM Punk and Adam Page.
Yep.
So, and I think a lot of people are waiting and hoping to see because the payoff is definitely going to be Wardlow powerbombing MJF, hopefully through a table because he deserves it.
Yeah.
But Wardlow powerbombing MJF, getting a win, and getting his AEW contract and getting his music back. But Wardlow's just been so over. I mean, being in Nassau didn't really do him any favors because that was MJF's home crowd. Didn't really do him any favors. But other than that, Wardlow's been over like Rover every single night, every single Dynamite Rampage that he's appeared on. So hopefully he doesn't lose that momentum. Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter, good back and forth match. We see Martha Hart looking on, and Tony Storm wins with Storm Zero, Spike pile driver. How do you think Tony Storm is doing in AEW so far? I mean, she hasn't lost a match, so.
So the AEW women's division has a lot of talent, but they aren't given enough time. If that makes sense. I feel like, there's a lot of like how, Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa had their crazy hardcore matches. Like that's more of like, I mean, this was a good match. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Yeah.
It was a good match. It was back and forth, a lot of hard hitting, but like, what did we see happen to Ruby Soho? She kind of came in, had a title match, and lost. And now she kind of disappeared for a little bit. I know she wrestled today. I don't remember if she won or not. I think she did win. But it's like Tony Storm wins and then possibly maybe faces Britt Baker in the next match and then loses. Kills her momentum. Goes
Say that.
W dark match and wrestles, Kayla Star. I don't know. Minnesota. I don't know.
Oh man. So, I would say probably tomorrow on episode 90, we'll probably delve in more into the brackets of where we're at, who's facing who upcoming week. I know we got the Jokers coming soon. That's next week on what I believe is called Wild Card Wednesday on Dynamite. And
Watch.
what happened?
Might be able to watch. I'm gonna be on a plane, so I might be able to watch it on the plane.
Yeah, listen, if you find JetBlue, you'll definitely be able to see it.
I am flying JetBlue.
Because I know they're one of the few airlines that have a TV.
Yes.
That's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, so we'll have the wild card, and I suspect that one of the Garganos, if not both, will be the Jokers.
That's what everybody's saying. Yeah. That's what everybody's saying.
I want it to be Johnny Gargano because I guess Johnny Gargano beating Samoa Joe can be kind of believable.
People think it's also going to be Cesaro.
Yeah. Listen, I love Cesaro, but he's not winning his first match if it's against Samoa Joe.
Why not?
Unless I just don't think. I mean, you got to put Samoa Joe over there and have him face Adam Cole.
Why?
I just don't think Cesaro goes over.
I think Samoa Joe
Samoa Joe is much more over. You got to give him that win.
I think Samoa Joe probably loses via possibly
interference.
Interference by Jay Lethal.
That's the way you got to do it if you book Cesaro to go over.
I think anybody is going to win over Samoa Joe via disqualification. Not disqualification, but interference from Jay Lethal.
That's basically the way out of it. That's the way out of it for sure. You got to do it that way. So behind me, for those of you guys that are watching on YouTube, first, before I get to this, those of you guys that are watching and listening, we are on ProWrestlingTees.com. When you go on the website, search for the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast, then you will find our shirts. You'll see our emblem. Click on the emblem. You'll see our shirts. We got our new Aftermath logo. My shirt, I think, is coming in about probably like a week or so. We've had a number of orders already available in black, navy blue, and golds. Gold was just released. We're releasing one more color down the road. But guys, make sure you pick up a t-shirt. This goes towards the costs of the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast. Will support our monthly costs. Yes, running a podcast is not free. So this goes towards the needs and to help continue the podcast moving along. So make sure you get a t-shirt. If you like us, you're a fan of us, definitely get a t-shirt. No pressure, but if you are a loyal fan of ours, make sure you get a t-shirt and represent and help get the word out there. So that's ProWrestlingTees.com. Search for the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast, and you'll find our t-shirts there. So get on your shirt today. I'll have mine on, hopefully by the time we go to Vegas.
Nice. Represent.
Gotta represent. So behind me, so for your podcast listeners, this is why you should subscribe to our YouTube channel and get to watch our videos. Because behind me, I'm going to show a spot of Darby Allin against Jeff Hardy this past Wednesday night on Dynamite. Let me pull it up over here really quick. I think I have it queued up. Throw some volume on really fast. And let's give it a couple seconds to watch.
Underneath the ring for... Well, how about that?
Chris, do you hear the commentary?
Well, Jeff Hardy bringing out the ladder in our main event. Will continue tonight in picture-in-picture. Don't go anywhere.
Of course, it goes to commercial. Let's see if we can fast forward that.
Oh.
It even prevents the infection that causes Lyme disease. Your vet trusts NexGard for her patients and her own dog. Plus, it's delicious.
We will come back to that in a minute or so. Unbelievable. So this is why you guys should be subscribed to our YouTube channel, so you get to see this little blooper. Anyway, we have Darby Allin. He's about to do this swanton dive off the ladder in about 1 minute and 49 seconds from now, and we're gonna show you that. We're gonna show you that. Darby Allin does a swanton, one of the biggest swantons I've seen, and I kid you not, I thought he was gonna kill himself. Like, he got 90% chairs and 10% Jeff Hardy when he was jumping out from the top of the ladder in the ring onto the outside towards the ring entrance. That had to have been about maybe 15, 20 feet drop or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big drop. And that could have easily been career ending for sure. So in about 1 minute 11 seconds, we're gonna have that for you guys. For those of you guys that are watching on YouTube, we'll watch that together really quick. But great match. It was like a fantasy match, part of the Owen Hart Invitational, and this is probably like a match that like a lot of hardcore fans, AEW fans, have fantasized booked, and we got it on a Dynamite. Something that you would probably see on a pay-per-view. Definitely pay-per-view worthy, especially the way that these guys went at it. But this was a part of the Dynamite Owen Hart Invitational, in which Jeff Hardy gets the win. We'll get into that in a second. I want to show you the clip here really quick before we come into landing. About 20 seconds from now, Tony Khan just got done with the promotion of how he likes to push people that are just like him. So that's pretty interesting commercial that he's doing lately. But let's see. Here we go. 8 seconds here. This is coming on. Let's get past this little commercial. Let's see.
On TBS and the app.
Our main event continues here at AEW Dynamite. Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy looking to advance.
So you ever see Jeff Hardy go to the outside? Look at Jeff Hardy like plant himself on the chairs, getting ready for this. Look at this. Oh! Look at that, it's all chairs. He only caught a piece of Hardy. Look at this. Oh.
Good bump.
Jeff Hardy like almost sidestepped him. Didn't even catch him properly.
I would never do that. Maybe I would take it, but I would never do it.
Oh. Look at this. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, it's got like 95% chairs, 5% Hardy.
It was the spot of the night.
Oh boy. I had to show you guys that for those of you guys that are watching. So you guys gotta watch it along. Anyhow, we see that and we also see we see Darby Allin, we did the swanton. We see the coffin drop onto the Jeff on the apron, but Jeff moves out of the way. So that was another big spot. And then we see Jeff Hardy do the swanton bomb onto the steps. So Darby Allin, it was a cool spot there where Darby Allin was laying on the flat side of the steps. The steps were standing up. You see Jeff Hardy do the swanton bomb. Darby Allin gets out of the way, and you see Jeff Hardy catch the side of the steps there. So that was a pretty cool. Like both these guys, both of them were going hard and taking some big bumps here. So we see Allin get out of the way. Allin hits, so the ending of the match here is Allin hits the coffin drop on Jeff Hardy. You think the match is over. Allin goes for the pin, but Hardy reverses it into a roll-up kind of crucifix pin for the win. So Jeff Hardy is advancing, and he faces Adam Cole in the next match. We see Undisputed Elite. I almost said Era. We see the Undisputed Elite come out to the top of the ramp, staring down the Hardys. Tony Schiavone is definitely planting seeds of the Hardys eyeing down stating that the Hardys are eyeing down the Bucks. Do you think that we get the Hardys versus the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing? I think we're getting it. They still have more room to fill out on this card, by the way.
They have a lot of room, I think. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Well, what, they have 2 weeks to build a tag team match. The match is gonna be good, but we've also seen it already. Not on AEW, but we've seen it already. Go Google it. It's on YouTube. We've seen it already. It's obviously a big money match. It's two probably the best tag teams, but it sells, and they would probably do it because of that reason. It would be good, but it's 2 weeks of build. There's no build. You can have a cold match on the card, but why would you expect a cold match to steal the show? You want to be invested in something like granted, like you go to an indie show and you see someone possibly like me, and you'll root for me. You'll be like, hey, this is a cold match. I've never seen any guys before, but it's Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy against Matt and Nick Jackson. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I'm gonna say no. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong.
Okay, that's fair. That's really fair. So, let's talk a little bit Backlash. Like, I just want to move fast through Backlash. It's about five days past Backlash, so don't want to talk too much about it because we're kind of little. I mean, I probably would have wanted to do a little bit more of an extensive review, like the day of or the next day, but that's fine. But now that we're 5 days past it, Raw's already happened, SmackDown's already happened. Really don't want to harp on Backlash too much. But we see the Bloodline defeats RK Bro and Drew McIntyre at Backlash, further in the storyline, the Bloodline. And then on Raw, we see RK Bro come out and say they're going to go to SmackDown and they're going to challenge the Usos to the unified titles. And I got excited again. Last week, I was pissed. Before we did that, before Backlash, that they made it 6-man and ditched the idea of unified titles. But now they're revisiting it tonight on SmackDown, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. But tonight on SmackDown, we get RK Bro face to face with the Bloodline, and the Usos accept the challenge. Next week on SmackDown, we're going to see a unification match, Usos versus RK Bro, and I have a feeling that I hope. My wishful thinking is that the titles finally get unified. But I wouldn't be surprised that if WWE does a bait and switch and the match ends in disqualification somehow. Typical WWE.
No, can't do that. They can't do that.
Yeah, so I'd be pissed. So they need to get a payoff here and get a winner next Friday. We saw Madcap Moss defeat Corbin with the roll up. We got that prediction wrong. Me and Tommy were both predicting Baron Corbin. So we got that wrong. But Madcap won. Tonight, Madcap got attacked by Corbin from behind in the middle of the interview. So that feud's going to keep going. Ronda Rousey defeats Charlotte Flair with the armbar through the chair. I love the spot of how it ended. Charlotte Flair tells Ronda Rousey she's got one more chance, and then wishes her happy Mother's Day sarcastically. And then we see Ronda Rousey pull Charlotte's arm in through the chair. And with the chair, Charlotte is put in an armbar by Ronda Rousey with the chair involved as well, which was a cool visual. and we see Ronda Rousey tap out Charlotte Flair. I know Tommy must have marked out about this. I can't wait to get his reaction tomorrow. And then we see AJ Styles defeat Rhea Ripley. We'll talk a little about this. I'm sorry. Edge defeats AJ Styles. I totally said that wrong. Rhea Ripley was dressed in a black hood during the in the outfit. She ends up tripping AJ Styles. At this point, we don't know who it is. AJ with his back turned to Edge. Edge capitalizes with the cross street choke to put AJ to sleep. And then at the end of the match, after that's over, AJ is already tapped out. Edge wins. Rhea Ripley comes into the ring, unveils her hood, and it's her. So I thought that was pretty freaking cool. It's been rumored for a while that Rhea Ripley was going to be part of Judgment Day. What did you think about this?
I think it was very well done. I think what they're doing with Edge's faction, Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, I feel like everybody's a great fit. I feel like, this is, possibly a faction that, I personally could see, holding all the titles at one point if they book it correctly, kind of like what the Bloodline is doing, minus the female in the group. I don't know. I'm excited. They're setting up, possibly a mixed gender tag team match, possibly putting Liv Morgan with AJ and Finn to, have a 6-person tag team
Mixed
match
tag, yeah.
which, maybe have that happen at, I don't know, Money in the Bank.
I feel like it's definitely I feel like that's headed that way for sure. Um, no, I think Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell comes first.
Does it?
Yeah.
I feel like this is just me. Do AJ and Edge inside Hell in a Cell, then do the 6-man tag and Money in the Bank.
If you want to drag it out that long. I don't know if you do or not.
I think AJ needs the big win at the end, and having the big babyface win at the end would be good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
So, with Rhea Ripley, she was going stale for a few months.
Yeah.
She was floundering. You see her in a tag team with Nikki Ash. That didn't do Rhea Ripley any favors whatsoever. Then you see her in a tag team with Liv Morgan. Okay. Rhea was still lost a lot of steam at this point, but it didn't help that Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan kept on losing matches. I don't know if that did any favors for Liv Morgan either, but little did we know that they were actually building to something. So the transition with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan tag team to Rhea Ripley joining Judgment Day, I felt was perfectly done and justified. So hopefully this gives Rhea Ripley some steam because she lost a lot of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed that big time. It was just, especially the program with her and Nikki Ash, that did not do Rhea Ripley any favors whatsoever. But with Rhea Ripley being paired with Edge and Damian Priest, I think this is gonna do her well. And I'm gonna predict it now. She's gonna be a future contender for Bianca Belair.
Think she wins Money in the Bank contract?
It's very possible. It's very possible she could be the Money in the Bank winner and randomly cash it in at any given time.
I've been seeing favorites for the Money in the Bank match wins right now. I think Rhea Ripley's the favorite for women's. I think Kevin Owens is the favorite for the men's.
That would be very interesting. That would be really interesting. But again, I don't think, and we talked about it a couple times. Like, there's only 3 guys that I would have beat Roman Reigns, because when Roman Reigns loses, it needs to be an important loss that's going to help catapult not a current superstar, a new superstar. You got to make a new superstar at this point. especially if the rumor is that Roman Reigns is going to take a break at some point. But you got Braun Breaker in NXT, WWE is very high on. You can make a new star there. Cody Rhodes is another one. You can tell the story and really get a good payoff out of that. And if you want to make a new star, I'm thinking Gunther. I'm thinking that the night after SummerSlam, the Friday night after SummerSlam, so that very next SmackDown, you have Roman Reigns do what he does tonight and says, I beat every competitor. I smashed every competitor. I smashed John Cena. I smashed Brock Lesnar. There is nobody for me to beat. Then you have Gunther come out, whom Roman Reigns hasn't faced yet in the ring. And at the same time, when Gunther comes out and stares down Roman Reigns, that would be the face turn for Gunther. And Gunther gets his match at the Clash at the Castle, the UK in London, and gets the win. Roman Reigns takes a break for a while, comes back, does his head of the table thing, maybe even wins back the title at some point, and then they do the program with The Rock after that. But I think you have Gunther turn face about 6 weeks before the Clash at the Castle in the UK, and build that up. So in the meantime, you have the rest of May, June, July, and so you have another 3 months to get to that point. Keep building Gunther as a heel, and then turn him when he challenges Roman Reigns, and then get that match at the UK.
I mean, people were expecting McIntyre to be there.
Yeah, I know. And Drew McIntyre should not. He has no momentum right now.
Nope, not at all.
I mean, listen, he's going to be a big crowd favorite in UK. So if you're going to have Drew McIntyre win, and at the same time have the home crowd behind him, I mean, it could be a good thing to have Drew McIntyre in that spot.
Maybe give him
because of the home crowd. But I'm thinking you gotta push new stars at this point.
Maybe give McIntyre a mid-card title. Maybe somebody pins Ricochet in between that time. McIntyre fights them. Maybe it's Sheamus. McIntyre, Sheamus. Two Europeans.
Yeah.
You never know. I don't know. Just brainstorming.
I mean, yeah, you could do that, but for that main event, you gotta have the hometown here, not hero, but a hometown person go against Roman. Gotta. Finn Balor?
I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be Drew McIntyre. I don't know.
Tommy thinks it's gonna be Drew, but I do love my booking for Gunther.
I know. I wouldn't be mad at seeing that. I wouldn't be mad at seeing that at all. But I don't think they would put Gunther in that top babyface slot. He's a top heel. You know?
But again, just think of where it's gonna be.
Maybe it's a multi-man match. Maybe you put a fatal 4-way in there. Roman, Gunther, McIntyre, Balor.
Oh, wow. That'd be a little crazy.
No, Balor's on Raw.
It doesn't even matter at this point. I mean, the title's on both shows.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter. They haven't really even acknowledged the brand split, even though there still is. But
it technically isn't a brand split. It's just Reigns' titles.
If those tag titles unify, I'm convinced that title, Reigns' title, is going to stay the way it is, stay unified.
So that means they need to unify the women's titles.
That would probably be next.
Bianca?
Mm.
Or do you see one of them dropping a title to have face versus heel?
That's a good question. I'm not too sure what you do with the women's title right now. Because you got Ronda Rousey as the title holder for SmackDown. Bianca's the title holder of Raw.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I feel like you're putting Bianca over, right? Right?
I think they would put Rousey over in this position.
But why?
But they love her. She's a draw. At least for the
Yeah.
time being. Won't be forever. Ronda
but
Rousey's
what-
not gonna be there forever.
But when you're saying build a star, Bianca is always in that category.
For sure. I mean, for sure. If she beats Ronda Rousey, then yeah, it would catapult Bianca even more.
A lot more than her even beating Becky or Charlotte.
You got to be really creative. You got to be really creative in this scenario if you're gonna have Bianca Belair take that title off Rousey. But
Yeah.
not gonna be by submission, that's for sure.
No, it is not.
No. Omos rather. It's spelled almost, but they say Omos. Omos defeats Lashley. MVP hits Lashley with the cane, and then Omos puts the tree slamming down Lashley for the win after Lashley got hit in the eye. So Omos gets the win. Looks like they're probably going to continue the feud for about another month or so. But I digress. We won't talk too much about that. It was decent for what it was. Not a great match, but it still held my attention. Some people were really talking down on it, but and arguably what could have been the match of the night, we got Cody Rhodes defeating Seth Rollins. This match went on for about a half hour solid.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Like, how often do we see a good half-hour match?
Yeah.
So I knew one of the matches were going to be long because there was only 6 matches on his card, and thankfully it was this.
Main event was really long.
Yeah, main event was long. I got to go back and watch the main event. I mean, a lot of good spots there.
Really good. Very well done.
Yeah. So Cody defeats Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. The way the match ends, Seth Rollins rolls up Cody by grabbing the tights, but then Cody reverses it and then grabs Seth Rollins' tights without the referee seeing, and Cody Rhodes gets the win. Seth Rollins is pissed and trying to point to the ref that Cody Rhodes grabbed the tights. So Cody gets the win there. They're probably going to do one more match, I would think. I feel like that feud is kind of like it's got to wind down very soon.
Hell in a Cell.
What's that?
They're probably going to wrestle at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Inside Hell in a Cell, most likely.
Yeah. I'd be about it.
I think that's probably one of their biggest rivalries going. So why wouldn't they do it inside Hell in a Cell? Right?
Yeah, I feel like it's probably... Yeah, you're right. It's probably the strongest rivalry going, other than like the Bloodline against Drew McIntyre and RK Bro. Yeah, I would say that this is one of like the main storylines for sure. So you can definitely do that. Let's revisit really quick. Apparently, Charlotte Flair in that submission fractured her forearm. WWE described it as something gave it some kind of fancy word for a forearm, like just say forearm, you know.
Yeah.
So fractured forearm. That's the storyline. Charlotte's gonna be out for a while. Tommy's probably happy, and
hear why
but in reality, what's that?
Did you hear why she's out?
Yeah, she got married.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, her and Andrade get married.
Good for them.
The two shall become one.
Yep.
So, oh, God bless Andrade. Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, Charlotte's gonna be out for a while. Probably figure about a month or so. No, well, you know what? Now if they're talking fractured forearm, she might be out for a few months. But
Yeah.
like, just to feed
She'll come back
into the storyline. What's that?
She'll come back at SummerSlam.
Yeah, or even Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is like 8 weeks from now. You're not gonna have her come back in 3 weeks at Hell in a Cell. That's not happening. No.
Yeah, but
They already told WWE's already trying to make you believe that she has a fractured arm. So in order to believe that, she's got to be out for a while.
Yeah, she did a very good job at selling that injury though, and the loss.
Yeah, and just the whole way that match ended, like Ronda Rousey legit put her in a Kimura in real life, just with my jiu-jitsu background. Ronda Rousey didn't even crank it all the way, but cranked it enough just to give it enough bend to make you believe that Ronda Rousey is in a serious position. And just the way that they did that whole scenario was really cool. With Charlotte tapping out, obviously you're not going to have Ronda Rousey tap out, and I think maybe one day Ronda taps out, but they'll save that for like a big moment, like a big shocking moment, like maybe down the road. Not anytime soon, but anyhow, that pretty much wraps up our show. We covered AEW Dynamite in extent, and just talked about Backlash. We got Hell in a Cell coming up in a few weeks, but first we're going to be handling the AEW business. As we get closer, we'll be talking more AEW, and Double or Nothing. 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, actually a little less. We're inside 12 days where we'll be at the Dynamite at Vegas, Rampage 2 weeks from tonight, and then Double or Nothing 2 days after that. I cannot wait. We will definitely do pre-show and post-show for that for sure. While we're there, I'll be bringing my laptop with me to Vegas. Cannot wait. And Chris, anything that you want to add?
Dude, I mean that's all she wrote, man. It was a good show. We got some good conversations in. Wrestling's booming right now. I'm excited.
For sure. So again, as a reminder, make sure you go on ProWrestlingTees.com and grab a t-shirt. Search for the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast. You will find us. Shirts available in gold, navy blue, and black. Make sure you guys get on that, and we will. You'll have yourself a nice little shirt. Also, the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by Back Sports Page. We are sponsored by Back Sports Page, sports website where they help cover our YouTubes, our videos that we do for this. You can find our YouTube videos there. And be sure to subscribe now. We're available on YouTube, of course, as you can see. For those of you guys that are watching, we are on Twitter. You get the live tweets of while we're watching the shows. We're on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. So many ways. And, of course, Instagram. You can follow us on the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast on Instagram. You can check us out there for all the updates, and even like the pre-show that we did tonight. I think we're going to do that a lot more often.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. But to those of you guys that are watching or listening, thank you guys so much. Gage, thank you so much for hopping on tonight and sharing some of your thoughts. And me and Tommy, unless something comes up, but me and Tommy will be back with episode 90 tomorrow night, Saturday nights, discussing Rampage. We're going to talk about the updated brackets for the Owen Hart tournaments, and we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth of what we saw on SmackDown tonight, and can't wait for that. We will see you guys tomorrow, but in the meantime, you guys all have a good night, and we will see you soon.
Peace.
From the champion. Oh, J6! That could be it. Delivers this